Welcome to the Well Woman Show, where motivated women achieve fulfillment and well-being.
You're listening to the Well Woman Show.
You're listening to the Well Woman Show.
You're going to be in for a good ride.
I'm a woman. I would prefer to tell my own story. My story, though it's very personal, is universal.
You're listening to the Well Woman Show. And now your host, Giovanna Rossi.
Hello, Well Women. Giovanna here. And welcome to those of you who are new to the show. On the show, I interview women leaders, executives, and entrepreneurs. And then sort of every other show-ish, I do Just Giovanna show, which is what you're listening to right now, where I share my work, my thoughts, and tips and tricks for living your well woman life. So if you're new to the show, welcome. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. If you haven't gone over to iTunes and left a review, I encourage you to do so. I'll be reading out reviews on various shows. And so if you would like me to read out your review, I'm happy to give you a shout out. Head over to iTunes and leave your review. That really helps me out. And today on the show, we're going to talk about how to create more time and space in your schedule. And this is a great topic for those of us who are overachievers, high achievers, type A's, and just really going, and can't catch our breath and just have, this like ongoing to-do list and are just baffled by the idea that we could actually create more time and space in our schedule. So if that's you, you're in the right place. And even if you think you have time and space in your schedule, maybe you have too much time and space in your schedule and you want to kind of organize things a little bit more, then this is a good show for you too. And the way I approach this is that when we look at what we're trying to create in the world, whether it's intimacy with ourselves or with others, with our family, with our partner, or maybe it's income, it's, something we're developing in our business or in our professional life, our career path, or impact, we're trying to make a bigger impact, whether it's being involved in politics or in your local nonprofits or charity organizations. Really, we're focused on those three areas of our lives: intimacy, income, and impact. And I'm going to share some things with you today that will hopefully help you create a feeling of more spaciousness in your daily life so that you can focus on what really matters to you. This is a really big topic, and so I'm going to narrow it down today. Maybe this is part one of several episodes on this topic. But as this show is publishing, it's May, and I feel like I spent the whole of the first quarter of this year sort of hunkering down in hibernation with like way too much going on, and like really not coming up for a breath. And as soon as April 1 happened, things started feeling a lot more spacious and easier to manage. And a lot of that has to do with the ebb and flow of your own schedule and your own personal mind space. And that definitely was the case for me. I just needed to hunker down for the first quarter, and I got stuff done. And then I'm able to like really enjoy that now. But I guess where I'm coming from is that if I didn't have some of these habits that I'm going to share with you today, I probably wouldn't have made it through that really difficult first quarter. And I certainly wouldn't have emerged in the way that I did, with a lot of success and accolades and feeling good physically and mentally and emotionally. So that's what I want to share with you today is Some of those things that I share in the Well Woman Life community that really help us create more time and spaciousness in our schedule for the things that really matter. So I want to start with the idea that we're going so hard. Usually we're pushing, we're working really hard. It's really hard to stop that, what we think is momentum, but it's actually just driving us into burnout. And so what I want to encourage you to do is the first thing is to create some awareness in your life, in your daily life. And so if you already have a mindfulness practice, that's awesome. I think that what we tend to do is have a practice and then we kind of start becoming complacent and not really doing it every day and like, oh, I don't really need to do that every day. And actually we really do. So this episode today is going to really focus on mindfulness. And then I'll probably do like a part 2, part 3 to this topic in the future on some of the other topic areas.
I'm so thankful for support from Natural Awakenings magazine in New Mexico, a monthly green, healthy lifestyle publication, and for support from High Desert Yoga, promoting optimum physical health, clarity of mind, and spiritual inspiration for all. Whether you're just starting your journey or you've been on it for months or even years, the Well Woman Jumpstart is a great place to begin. So you might want to know, what's the outcome? How will I benefit from this? If you want to reach the income, impact, or intimacy goals you have, you can jump right in with this awesome jumpstart. You'll learn what your unique superpower is, which is super important for everything else you'll be working on in your life. You'll learn proven tools to address your particular challenge. You'll get real clarity about your life and your big goals and challenges. And you'll get to talk to me, Giovanna, one-on-one, and I'll give you feedback and insight specifically on your goal or challenge. If you're ready to jump in, go to wellwomanlife.com/jumpstart. So the first thing is to really create some awareness of your daily schedule and your daily life. And so the way that you can start doing that is by really being mindful of certain things. And so the first thing that we can be mindful of is our time. How are we spending our time? A lot of times we're like, oh, I'm so busy. And then when you really look at what you did that day, it's like, well, yeah, I spent an hour on Facebook. I, zoned out in front of Netflix. And so I want to encourage you to really look at how did you spend your time and do kind of like a time audit for 7 days, or just start with 3 days, whatever feels manageable to you. And just jot down, keep a running list of where you're spending your time. And that will give you that awareness that you really need in order to then tune into how, what to do about it. So that's the first thing, is to really be aware of your time, be mindful of your time. The second thing is to be mindful of what you say. So what we say and the language we use, the words that come out of our mouths, really set the tone for our energy and for how we move through the world and how people respond to us. And we have the choice of what to say. We have the complete control over what we say and what words come out of our mouths. And so I want you to really, really be mindful of your language. How are you speaking to the people that you love? How are you speaking to the people that love you? And what are you saying? What are the words coming out of your mouth when you're interacting with colleagues, friends, other parents of your children's friends, parents, or other people, people at a restaurant that you're eating at or at the store. And being really mindful of what you say. And that includes when you hear yourself starting to go down the road of gossip, I would say really put the brakes on that and just be mindful, like, oh, okay, I'm about to start gossiping. And does that ever really get me anywhere? Except for maybe makes me feel good in that moment. Does it actually accomplish anything? Do I feel like a better person at the end of that? And so really being mindful of what you're saying can be super helpful in changing that. And when you change your language to be less about complaining or whining or gossiping, and more about compassion and understanding, it will actually change the way you're thinking. And when you change your thinking, you change your actions. And so we can do a lot with that. And so doing a almost like a little audit on your language is really, really super helpful. So that's number 2, mind what you say. Number 3 is mind your media consumption. So I'm sure all of you listening to this show, we consume a lot of media. We're on our phones, we're watching videos, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We are watching whatever, HBO or whatever show on Netflix. And so we're consuming. And it's a really great idea in order to create some spaciousness to let go of some of that. And in order to do that, we need to be mindful of what we're consuming. So how many of you go through the day and at the end of the day, it's like, what did I actually accomplish today? And if you look back through your day, it's like, well, I read that article, I watched that video, I was on social media, and yeah, I did all this other stuff too. Like I got other stuff done at work or at home. But a lot of your time is padded with this, with media consumption. And so the key here is to really start being aware of what you're consuming, being mindful about what you're consuming. So look at what's on your desktop, what's on your phone, what's in your house. What are you, what newspapers do you get? What magazines are you reading? Is it feeding you? Is it making you feel your power? Is it supporting you? Or is it making you feel bad? Is it making you emotional? Is it making you reactive? And by being aware of what you're consuming, then you can start making decisions about what you want in your space and what you don't want in your space. And that's a really great way to cut out some of that garbage and some of that filler and really focus on the things that you want to be doing. So that's number 3, mind your media consumption. And number 4 is mind what you eat. Now, this is not a diet talk. This is absolutely not a, you should be eating less kind of tip here. This is mind what you eat in terms of really being intentional about what we're putting into our bodies and choosing things that support us feeling good versus feeling bad. And whether that means that you choose fast food one night, and then because you're being mindful of what you're doing, you're like, okay, that didn't make me feel good. So maybe I'm not going to do that next time. Being mindful about what we eat really helps us kind of take back ownership of our bodies and feeling good in our bodies. And it sort of reverses the mindset of scarcity, like, oh, I can't have that because of my diet. It's more like, I'm going to eat really yummy, good foods. And if I want to eat chocolate or have some ice cream, I'm going to do that too, because I'm being mindful about it. I'm choosing what I'm putting in my body. And that is going to really help create that sense of power from within your own, from your inner self and for your body. So really feeling good in your body is so important in terms of being able to do all of the things that you want to do in your life, in your day, in your daily schedule. So the tip here is to be mindful about what you eat, and that means perhaps doing an eating audit. So you actually look at, okay, what am I actually putting into my body? And it doesn't have to become obsessive or about a diet. It can be simply, I'm going to stock up the fridge with salmon, avocados, peanut butter, and fruit, and the things that I'm naming, all the things that I love, the things that really feed me and make me feel good. And once you become more in tune with what foods make you feel good, and this changes over time, it like a few years ago, I could eat certain things and it didn't affect me, or at least I wasn't aware that it was affecting me. Now I know when I eat certain things, I will wake up the next day with a headache, like literally a sugar headache, or, so really being aware of how different foods impact you and not cutting out the foods that you really enjoy, but just being mindful of them and intentional. So when you sit down to eat your ice cream, be like, here I am with my bowl of ice cream and I am enjoying this, and be really intentional about it. Not just scarfing it down while watching a show. And then you're like, oh, wait, what just happened? I just finished that whole carton of ice cream. That's not mindful eating, right? So there's a big difference. And, I'd love to know how these tips go for you. You're welcome to come over to wellwomanlife.com/Facebook and join us in there. We'll be talking about this. This will be the topic of Well Woman Drinks this week. And so join us on Wednesday night, May 15th, online or in person. And you can find out all the information about how to register at wellwomanlife.com/events. And if you listen to this show after the fact, that's okay. You can join us for Well Woman Drinks next time, and you can still go through this exercise and come and join us in the Facebook group. So I hope you enjoy your mindful practices this week, and I look forward to hearing from you and hearing about it. And I'll see you over in the Facebook group, and tune in next week. Have a great week. That's it for our show today. Remember, if you need support to live your Well Woman life, head over to wellwomanlife.com/Facebook to join us. Our monthly live event, Well Woman Drinks, brings women together to share our successes and challenges as women, leaders, moms, aunts, sisters, and all the other roles we carry. If you'd like to attend a Well Woman Drinks near you, or if there isn't one in your city yet and you'd like to start one, email info@wellwomanlife.com. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment and subscribe in iTunes and leave a review. This helps raise visibility, which is super helpful when it comes to producing the show every week. For feedback, comments, or just to let me know you were listening today, find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Well Woman Life. I'm Giovanna Rossi for The Well Woman Show. Until next time, have a super powerful week.